We look at it really two ways, those concessions. And number one, you're right, there is a political context in which those concessions are going to be facing a rebidding process. And I choose the word carefully, rebidding, rather than a renewal, which is what we're used to seeing here in the United States with gaming concessions. That rebid process so far has provided very little insight as to what's going to happen. We know that SJM and MGM have their concessions expire in 2020, the other four, including Wynn and Las Vegas Sands, in 2022. And as I said, so far, very little information about what that process will entail. There could be a political context to it, and there could be also a cultural context to it. From the people that we've spoken to, the Asian or Chinese approach to these concessions is, look, you were given a concession, you opened a business, you got paid back, and let's see what happens now. So it is the one biggest question in our mind relative to those stocks.
And let's be clear, David, I don't know how good those concessions are. I mean, they could be good at LVS and Wynn to 2022, but they're at the whim and the mercy of the Chinese government. Here's sort of the connect the dots, which is Sheldon Adelson, one of the richest men in the world, controls Las Vegas Sands, also one of the biggest Republican donors. The Chinese obviously know this. Do you think they can influence White House policy by influencing gambling policy?
Look, that sounds like a logical and linear thought, but as I said, we really have very little information about what those prospects or probabilities are. I think the way we're looking at it today really are which companies are best positioned to withstand any events or pressures that may occur as to going through this process. And from that perspective, we look at Las Vegas Sands, whose leverage is very low at about 1.5 times. They earn about 56% of their cash flow out of their Macau assets, but have a more balanced business than, say, Wynn, whose about 75% of their cash flow is out of Macau and has 5 times leverage. And so that's an important difference to point out.
If you're an LVS, Las Vegas Sands, or a Wynn or an MGM shareholder, should you be nervous right now?
I think you should be. And the discussions that we have are with investors who are appropriately nervous. Because I think if we sit down and pick up a pencil or a spreadsheet and try and calculate what the impact could be and what the range of outcomes are, it's extremely difficult to get to a conclusive answer that you feel comfortable with.